I'm back! For those of you who have been wondering where I've been, I have been recovering from surgery. Last video I posted, I said I had a major migraine and I had taken a bunch of medicine for that. Some of that medicine was ibuprofen. The day after, the next day, I woke up, had some stomach pain, nothing unusual for taking ibuprofen. But throughout the day, that pain got worse and worse and worse. And by the evening, it was the worst pain that I have had in my abdomen. I mean, it was extremely painful. I told my wife, I said, I can't handle this. I drove myself to the ER. And I don't live like near a major city. I live out in the county. So, I mean, it's like a 35-minute drive. So I drove with this extreme stomach pain to the ER over 30 minutes away. And I got there and, you know, they kind of do the initial little check-in test and couldn't really see anything blaringly urgent, I guess. So they kind of sent me out to the waiting room to wait. And, man, I was in that waiting room for 3 hours. I mean, every single person in the waiting room went in before me. Talk about low priority. So 3 hours later, they finally called me back into the ER, and I'm laying there, and they do some blood tests and things. I can't find anything wrong. And they're like, well, we're just going to do a CT scan and just see if we can find anything. So I go in, I do the CT scan, I come back out, and they're like, all right, it'll be about 30 minutes for results. I'm like, cool. So I wait. About 25 minutes later, and again, the whole time, like, everybody's just so nonchalant, like, whatever, man. About 25 minutes after they do the CT scan, the doctor comes rushing into the room, and he goes, I'm worried about your appendix. And he pushes down on my appendix, and I screamed out in pain. And the doctor goes, yep, I'm going to go call a surgeon, and he runs out of the room. And I was like, whoa. And for those of you who didn't know this was all going on, I post updates on the community tab of this channel. So if you go over to the community tab, all you got to do is you click on the channel name and then you go to the community tab. You'll see the updates. And that's when the doctor said that, where I posted, I'm like, all right, appendix emergency surgery. I'll see you guys in a few weeks, because I knew it was going to take me time to recover from surgery. After he ran out of the room, shortly thereafter, I guess they call them the transport team. It was like 3 people came up. They moved me into another bed. They're like, we're taking you to the operating room. And bam, I went. It was that fast. So anyway, for the past week, I've been recovering from appendix surgery. I now have one less body part. And yeah, I tell people I'm less of a man than I used to be. Anyway, I'm feeling better. Still not 100%. The full recovery period for this surgery, by the way, is 5 weeks. So I'm only, 1 week into it. So I've still got a lot of recovery left. I'm still in a lot of pain. But I want to get a video out for you guys. I've been missing you guys. And I know you guys have been missing me. So I wanted to get this video out. Thank you all for your extreme patience. I got to tell you, one thing I absolutely love about investing in the stock market, you know, the motto on this channel is, we profit day and night. And I got to tell you, that's the best part about investing in the stock market, because while I was recovering from surgery, while I was high on drugs and not even able to look at the stock market, I made 17% in my portfolio. 17% while I'm laying there with surgery, not even doing anything. And so that's what I love about investing in the stock market, is literally we profit day and night, whether we're working or not. Way better than a job. So I know a lot of you guys are here because COVID kind of had you guys working home, and you figured out, like, wow, I really don't like my job. Started investing. Welcome to the team, guys. Me too. Anyway, wanted to let you guys know that that's why we say we profit day and night, because you really can. You can profit whether you're working or not. So that's what I love about the stock market. Now, I want to get right into today's stock picks now that I gave you guys that update. For those of you guys who are new to this channel, my name is Stock Curry. I used to work as an analyst for some large investment banks, and now I analyze stock picks from the top 10 YouTubers. I then compile all of my analysis into a daily video that I post right here on this channel. Obviously not for the past week, but generally speaking, I post every day. I spend hours every single day watching YouTube videos so that you don't have to. All you have to do is watch one video each day and you will get every single stock pick from the top 10 YouTubers. All I ask in return is that you hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon so that you can get notified when I release my next video. In fact, I'll give you 5 seconds to do that right now. Alright, before we get to today's stock picks, I just want to remind everyone that I am not a financial advisor and none of the YouTubers I follow are financial advisors either. Today's video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who are wondering, I am using the Webull app in all of my videos. Webull is also the app that I use for all of my trading. Alright, let's get to today's stock picks. First up is AMZN, Amazon. Ken and Grace let us know that the average analyst stock price has risen from $3,800 to $4,100. That represents a 26% upside from today's closing price. If you want to buy AMZN, you can do so with fractional shares. While Webull does not allow buying fractional shares, SoFi does. That's why I always recommend having accounts at multiple brokers. SoFi is great for long-term investing and has fractional shares, but it doesn't have a lot of the tools or charting options. That's where Webull comes in. So that's why I have accounts at both SoFi and Webull, and why I recommend you do so too. As a viewer of this channel, you get special sign-up bonuses. With SoFi, you get $50 in free stock when you sign up using my link in the description below and deposit $1,000. And with Webull, you get 2 free stocks worth up to $1,850 when you sign up using my link in the description below and deposit $100. Next up is APXT. This is a SPAC, and they're merging with AvePoint, which is a data management company that is specifically focused on the Microsoft Cloud. CRIS gave a quick update today saying that he thinks APXT is going to $20 soon and then $40. He does have a $60 price target at APXT. I have a buy-under price on APXT of $15 with an ideal buy-in price of $14. So now is a great time to buy. Next up is BNGO. This is Bionanogenomics. It looks like while I was recovering from my surgery, BNGO stopped rising and entered consolidation. It does form a bull flag on the weekly chart, so I do expect BNGO to go up once it's done consolidating. And it looks like it could break out to the upside as early as next week. So now would be a great time to buy BNGO. I put a buy-under price on BNGO of $12 and an ideal buy-in price of $11. I would also put a stop loss at $10. Because that would mean BNGO has broken out to the downside from its consolidation. Also, my financial friend Ken and Grace and Richard Allen let us know about some news today where BNGO's Sapphire machine is able to analyze solid tumors, which makes it the only machine in the world to be able to do so. This opens up another huge clinical market for BNGO. That said, I did discover that this quote-unquote news was really just Bionano announcing that a study was published. As it turns out, that study was published back on February 4th, so I'm not surprised that this really didn't affect the stock price significantly today. Next up is CCIV. This is a SPAC rumored to be merging with Lucid Motors. Lucid Motors is an American EV company and a competitor to Tesla. StockMo showed us that CCIV is trading in a range of $29 to $35, and he expects CCIV to stay there until we get confirmation of a merger. However, after hours, my financial friend alerted us that CCIV was up as high as 17% to $37, closing up almost 13% on rumors that a merger is about to be announced. However, this is once again based upon a tweet from Alex Cutler. And so far, Alex Cutler has been wrong every single time. That said, CCIV did hit $37.20 after hours, which is an all-time high and well above the top of the $35 range that StockMo gave. That is a good sign that CCIV could go higher than anybody's guesses once a merger is confirmed. Next up is CLII. This is a SPAC and they're merging with EVgo. EVgo is the nation's largest fast-charging EV station company. This is a competitor to ChargePoint, currently under SPAC symbol SBE. ZipTrader let us know that they just announced that they are expanding their relationship with Tesla and are integrating with over 400 Tesla connectors. ZipTrader gave a price target range of $35 to $45, which represents an 81% to 132% upside potential from today's closing price. Also, this is now below my ideal buy-in price of $19.50 that I set a few weeks ago. Next up is CPSH. This is CPS Technologies. Dead Inside first looked into CPSH after he found out that their parts were used on the Mars rover that is scheduled to land on Mars in the next few days. Today he provided an update from their CFO that he received. You should watch Dead Inside's full video for all the details, as I only have time to cover the most influential points. First, CPSH let Dead Inside know that they have parts on all current generation GPS satellites, and they are also developing content for the methane sat scheduled to launch in October of next year. This makes CPSH a good target for ARK Invest's new space exploration ETF. Regarding the future growth of CPSH, their CFO replied that they are focused on power electronics segments, including charging stations and EVs. Also, if you wonder why the stock jumped so much while I was recovering from surgery, it's because they received a huge contract from the US Navy for their hybrid tech armor panels. Next up is CRIS. This is CRIS, and Chris Sain gave an update on CRIS today after it ran up over 11%. He reiterated his buy-under price of $10 and emphasized not to chase. Next up is GILT. This is GILT Satellite Networks. Wow, this one took off while I was recovering from surgery. If you're concerned about buying after a huge run-up like this, Ken and Grace showed us that in the past 2 days, 11 large institutions bought GILT. Ken and Grace said today's pullback is a buying opportunity. Next up is GNOG. Ah yes, my monster from when I had the migraine. This is Golden Nugget Online Gaming. Chris Sain said he can't believe GNOG is this low in price. If you look at the descending wedge, which by the way is bullish, it has to break out soon. It doesn't have much more room to consolidate. So if you've been thinking about buying GNOG, now is the time to buy. Next up is HYLN. This is HYLN, and Chris Sain let us know that Wall Street Bets has been pumping HYLN, which is why volume was so high today. Chris Sain has a price target on HYLN of $60, which represents a 189% upside from today's closing price. Next up is MARA. This is a Bitcoin miner. ZipTrader gave an update on MARA today, basically just letting us know that MARA is moving right along with Bitcoin right now, and that is what is affecting the stock price. He also reiterated his price target of $60. Next up is MVIS. This is Microvision. This is a LiDAR development company for autonomous driving. So here's another stock that took off while I was recovering from surgery. It's up 142% from my last video. The reason is because they announced last week that they are on schedule to develop their first prototype, which should be done by April. They also announced that they will be able to sell their LiDAR for less than $1,000, which makes it both cheaper and better than the competition. Now this was Chris Sain's stock pick, and he gave an update today. He said not to buy MVIS right now, and to wait for it to drop below $15. Next up is NIO. This is a Chinese EV manufacturer. The traveling trader let us know that earnings are on March 9th. Technically, NIO is forming an uptrend continuation pattern. The traveling trader expects NIO to move up over the next month prior to earnings. If you're considering an options play, the traveling trader likes the March 26th $65 single leg call and the March 5th $61/$62 vertical call spread. Next up is NNDM. This is Nano Dimension. They're a 3D computer chip printer manufacturer. Larry Jones said he is buying the dips on NNDM, and he also bought more today. Richard Allen gave us a couple of possible merger targets for NNDM. The possible merger acquisition targets appear to leverage NanoS, which is a service Nano Dimension offers that allows you to 3D print without owning one of Nano Dimension's 3D printers. If you want details on which merger targets were listed, please go watch Richard Allen's video that he uploaded Thursday afternoon. Now taking a look at the technicals, I see that it has failed to hold the short-term trend line that it was on prior to my surgery. So if the vote to double the shares passes, then we could see NNDM drop back down to its long-term trend line, which would make a great buying opportunity for NNDM. Next up is PLTR. This is Palantir, and they're a data analytics company. The traveling trader let us know that earnings are on February 16th. However, there is also a lockup expiration 3 days after that, which will push the price down. So if you play earnings, make sure you sell within a day or two after earnings. The traveling trader also let us know that Palantir is working with IBM to develop an online computing product to compete against Amazon and Microsoft. And the stock already moved up and came back down on that news. So now we can see a good price range for PLTR. The traveling trader does not expect huge price movement post-earnings on PLTR, so he recommends an Iron Condor options play. If you remember from a few weeks ago, I showed you that an Iron Condor makes money when the stock moves only a small percentage and trades mostly flat. The traveling trader likes an Iron Condor setup using February 19th options that is profitable between $31 and $45. To set that up in Webull, what you do is you go to the Options tab and you select Iron Condor from the drop-down list. Then you go to February 19th. Then pick something near the money. Next, click on Graphs so that you can see how you would make money on this play. Then change it to Sell. Then expand the width to about 5 or 6. Expanding the width expands the price range where you will make money. Then move the strike price up by clicking the up arrows until we get to a price range that we want. You might have to change it back to sell to get this pointing in the right direction. You can see now that our break-even price is between $31.80 and about $46.24. That is a good price range given the chart that we just saw. Next, change the number of contracts to the number that you want. As you change the contracts, you're going to see your estimated profit and loss right down here. So we're going to bring this down to say 1. There we go. Now what we have right now is so long as this closes between 31.80 and about 46.50, we're going to make up to $420 profit on this trade. If it closes below 31.80, we'll lose $180. If it closes above 46.50, we're going to lose $180. So this is the Iron Condor. We need it to close in this price range in order to make money. Now the final thing you want to do is you want to lower the limit price to help ensure that this order will actually get filled. When you lower the limit price, you're going to notice that both your profit is going to drop and your max loss is going to increase. That's okay. You just need to do this in order to make sure that it fills. Finally, when you're ready, just click Place Order. Going back to the chart for a second, I wanted to let you know that ZipTrader put a long-term hold price target on PLTR of $55, which represents a 66% upside from today's closing price. Next up is RIOT, RIOT. This is a Bitcoin miner, and ZipTrader gave us a quick update to let us know that he increased his price target on RIOT to $65. That represents a 51% upside from today's closing price. Next up is SBE. This is a SPAC and they're merging with ChargePoint. StockMo briefly mentioned SBE this morning to let us know that the merger vote was supposed to happen today. I looked at the news on SBE and I see that the vote has now been postponed until February 25th. Apparently not enough people have voted. So if you are holding SBE, I highly encourage you to vote. If not enough people vote, then the merger will not happen. Regarding a buy-in price, I think now would be a great time to buy, and ZipTrader agrees. Next up is SENS. This is Senseonics, and they're an implantable blood sugar glucose monitoring manufacturer. If you look at the chart, prior to my surgery, I drew a bull flag and said that that was a sign that it would break out to the upside. You can see that it did exactly that. Now it's forming another bull flag. So now would be another great time to buy. Once SENS gets approval for their 180-day implant, this stock should take off. Next up is SNDL. This is Sundial Growers, and they're an MMJ stock. ZipTrader said today that this just ran up with the rest of the market and that there was no real news on SNDL. He did give a price target of $6, which would represent a 152% upside from today's closing price. Keep in mind that Wall Street Bets is currently trying to push MMJ stocks, so that's why you're seeing the whole sector go up over the past few days. Also, with Democrats controlling the country, there are some real catalysts for these stocks. Now, Smart Trader went into a little bit more detail. He said he expects SNDL to consolidate. The question is, what range will it consolidate in? Will it be around $2.20 or will it be around $1.20? Smart Trader said that if SNDL drops down to $1.30, he will be loading up. His reason is because SNDL is debt-free, which makes this very different from the other MMJ stocks. Even if it only dips below $1.90, Smart Trader said that is a good buy. So all of that considered, we get a buy-under price of $1.90 with an ideal buy-in price of $1.30. Next up is STAF. This is Staffing 360 Solutions, and they're a staffing company. Smart Trader briefly mentioned STAF today, saying that he really likes the volume rise over the past 2 days and thinks this could continue going up, possibly as high as $2. Next up is SUNW. This is Sunworks, and they're renewable energy specifically focused on solar. ZipTrader said this has dipped enough and is now in a good deal territory. Next up is TLRY. This is TLRY. This is an MMJ stock, and ZipTrader mentioned TLRY today, saying that he thinks it could double, as in get back to yesterday's closing price. I do see TLRY continuing down a little bit to around $27 before bottoming out and going back up. Now, to show you the real potential in TLRY, I want to show you what happened a few years ago when MMJ stocks had a huge run-up. Look at this. TLRY hit $300 a share. It has gone down fairly steadily since then, but now it looks like it has bottomed out and is starting to go back up. Next up is VERU. This is VERU, and they're a pharmaceutical company. Well, it looks like Smart Trader nailed this one. It closed today 36% above the price target he set, and as you can see on the chart, it was up a lot more than that. Today, Larry Jones mentioned it. He said he bought VERU 2 days ago, and he doubled down today because he said VERU could rise significantly if their drug gets through phase 3 trials. Finally is ZOM. This is Zomedica, and they're another pharmaceutical company. Larry Jones said he is buying the dips on ZOM. It looks like ZOM skyrocketed while I was getting surgery, so I'll have to remove my old $1.10 buy-under price and figure out a new one. Unfortunately, I don't have any more information on ZOM for you yet. I haven't had time to research it in the past week. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and got a lot out of it. Just a reminder that I will not be posting a video tomorrow. I'm still recovering, so I'm going to take it a little slow. No rush, since the next trading day after tomorrow won't be until Tuesday. Monday is a holiday in the United States, so we got plenty of time to get the next video up after this one. So I'll probably get a video up Saturday, Sunday, and hopefully Monday, but not tomorrow. Comment down below what your favorite stock pick is. And guys, if you want to get some free stocks, make sure you sign up for Webull or SoFi through my link in the description below. And finally, remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon if you haven't already. I hope you have a lot of success trading, and I will see you this weekend.